if we empower our community through this platform, I'm just talking about our community. If we empower our community, the society is going to start looking at us really differently.
Mm-hmm.
If we as a community empower ourselves, right? And when the society starts looking at architects and interior designers differently, that's when we can change the design paradigm in the country.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Archeon podcast. I'm super stoked to be starting off the year on an awesome note because we have a brilliant guest on the show and we're going to be talking a lot about content creation. This is, of course, Utsav Kamboj. She is an architect, a graduate from Lovely Professional University, and she also went on to do a master's in urban design from Sushant School of Art and Architecture. She now runs an awesome Instagram handle by her own name, Utsav_Kamboj, where she's got over 15,000 followers and she posts daily content on architecture, interior design, and a whole lot more. And then we talk about the most exciting part of the show, which is something Utsav and her team has been working on, and it's called Arkia. It's going to be India's first membership website for architects, students, and everyone related to design. They will be launching it in a few days' time from the time this episode is going to be aired. So do check it out. You will be able to access this membership website. We're going to arkia.com. I'm not really sure what the website name is, but I will add a redirect to my website. So you can go to arkian.com/arkia and you'll get access to something awesome. So do stay tuned for Arkia's launch. And also, I'm going to be talking a lot about how Utsav got into content creation, how she's helping the architectural space and architectural fraternity, what the future of architectural education is going to look like in India, and what Arkia has planned for all of us. So there's a lot of interesting stuff that we talk about in this episode. It's definitely going to be more oriented towards content creation. So if you have some plans in the future to start a podcast, a blog, or a YouTube channel, then I would definitely give this episode a listen till the end. So for more on the episode, head to arkian.com/utsav, or you can also head to arkian.com/arkia. Do like and subscribe if you like this podcast and this channel. You can also listen to us on any podcast platform. So that's about it. Let's jump straight to the episode and hear Utsav Kamboj's awesome journey. Let's go.
Thank you so much, and hi everybody who's listening to this podcast. I hope you're having a great day today.
All right. So yeah, this is how we kick things off in the Archeon podcast. We ask our guests about how they got started and how they got into architecture. So give us your background story. Was it like you always wanted to do architecture, or was it like more of something which you figured on the way?
Uh, when I was in class 12th, I was very clear that I wanted to do architecture and I wanted to have my own practice. So the influence came from my parents. Actually, I am a daughter of a practicing income tax advocate, which is my father.
Wow.
And my mother was very much influenced with interior design. And I have always had these magazines, Inside, Outside, Arc Digest, and all that
Oh, nice.
since I can remember.
Okay.
But I was more inclined towards the spatial aspect of design and not the interior design aspect of design. So that
Mhm.
kind of fascinated me into going into architecture, not interior design, and
Mhm.
also having my own practice.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, so yeah, that's awesome. And then you studied Lovely, and you also completed a master's in urban design, right? So maybe
yeah.
you could give our listeners a background about your time in architecture school and why you pursued masters in India and not overseas. That's also questions a lot of us ask.
Yes. So, okay, I'll be very, very, very honest about this. In LPU, my experience was really great, just like everybody else's, because everybody's graduation experience is like the best time of their life. So that was
Yeah.
the same for me. If you would ask my faculty, I was a lousy student. I was a fairly average student when it comes to marks. I was never in class except for design studios.
Hmm.
And yeah, I made some really amazing friends who I'm still in touch with. I had a really good exposure, learned a lot in college, got to meet a lot of nice people. And overall, the campus is actually really nice. The ads are true.
Yeah.
And yeah, so other than that, yes, I learned a lot. And how I got into urban design is actually when I was doing in LPU, when I was doing urban design, we
Mm,
were asked to do urban regeneration of the precinct of Golden Temple in
mm,
Amritsar. And when I was studying it, the entire experience of doing that project was really, it was, it just inspired me so much. And I was actually upset that the semester ended. So after that, when I went in for internship, that office also had done some projects on urban level. I
mm.
didn't get to work on them, but I did get to, study those projects. And it's actually my dream to do a project which is on, heritage and cultural aspect, where
Mhm,
I also get to do the architecture part and also the urban part. This is
mhm.
literally my dream to do at least one this project before I get kicked off out of this world. So yeah, so after I studied those projects in that office, that
Mm.
is when it just opened the doors for me to go for masters in urban design. I didn't go outside because I was fairly connected to my family, honestly.
Uh-huh.
बाहर जाने का mood नहीं था बिल्कुल भी.
अच्छा, ठीक
I
है.
wanted to stay in India only. I want to stay in India. I have no, dreams of living outside. I want to go
Mhm,
outside for a vacation and fine.
mhm.
But other than that, I'm very happy staying here. And I was very sure that I wanted to practice here. So it made more sense for me to get to understand the market in this country and not go
Right,
outside and spend 2 years
right,
outside
right.
of the country.
So you also, I think, further pursuing masters, you did find a job in your space, right? Which is urban design,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you worked for a while as well. But when did you start?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Maybe you can tell us more about that. And when you started shifting,
No,
yeah.
the jobs that I got as an urban designer after doing masters, I found a lot of jobs in Gurgaon, but the horrible part of it was that I was offered salary of 15,000 or 20,000.
Even for a master's with urban design.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. And I
man.
would not name the firms, but really reputed firms who have been practicing for at least 25 years.
Yeah.
So I did not find a job where I could get work fulfillment as well as manage my finances on my own, because
Mm.
after a certain age, you don't want to take money from the parents, right?
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
studied for 7 years and you have been spending their money so much. I started working as an architect in Noida,
Mm.
and on the side I was taking projects since my internship. I was working with my seniors to get extra money. To be very honest, I was doing that just to get extra money.
Nice.
But then I started getting freelance work from clients, and I have been doing that, my internship during my master's and then again during my job.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, now I want to start on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a whole new journey when I started on my own after quitting that job.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So is there's still not a big connection towards content creation, but you started on your own, and I think that's when you
Right.
start figuring out, how to build a website and how to create stuff and
Yeah.
all that, right? So could you tell us
Right.
about your
Right.
journey towards content creation?
Content creation. Okay. So content creation was something which was never in my mind. I
Yeah.
never wanted to be, it was never even there. For me, as long as I am an architect, the only thing that I knew was I could be an employee, I could have my own office, or I could get into architecture photography or
Mm.
architecture journalism. Content creator was not something that I was even aware of, that there is a space like that in the
Yeah.
digital world.
This is what
And
2017, 18, right?
17, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was when, but somewhere down the line inside of my heart, I had this, I would now call it calling, my
Yeah.
calling,
Mm.
because there's always been this problem with me that I don't like to do normal things. You'll never find me doing normal things,
Yeah.
right? So there was always this thing inside me that, okay, what I'm doing is nice. This is what I wanted to do, but somehow that fulfillment is missing.
Uh-huh.
And when I started on my own, I had these everybody has their struggles, because like I
Mm.
said, that starting your own practice, it's like starting your own business, and that's a different
Ball.
world in
Yeah.
itself. There are a lot of things involved, whether you're creating a digital business, you're creating a in-person business, you're giving service, you're giving product, anything you're doing. So I had this misconception that if I would learn everything in office and then I would start off, then I'll just start getting clients from somewhere and
Hmm.
I would be an established architect and life would be perfect, which was obviously not the case.
Yeah.
And I used to look for, guidance everywhere, online, offline, and everything. And then I realized that, we are all a part of the same rat race.
Hmm.
Everybody is going through the same struggles when they're starting up, literally the same things. Because I
Hmm.
used to ask my seniors, how do I deal with this? And they were like, client to ऐसा ही करते हैं, ये तो
Hmm.
होता ही है. And I was like, what shit?
Yeah, exactly.
There should be something, at least there should be. We talk about projects, we talk about budgets, we talk about site constraints and whatnot, but we don't talk about how to become a successful architect. We don't talk about how to kickstart your journey. We don't talk about how to achieve your goal.
Hmm.
And I just learned how to create a website on WordPress, a simple
Hmm.
website, and I just started blogging. And that blogging came out of my own experiences and my own mistakes, more
Hmm.
importantly. Like if I lost a client, I wrote about it. That what to do if you don't want to lose a client, right?
Right. Right.
If I got really badly negotiated, I talked about how to negotiate. Because when you have a horrible experience and then you realize मुझे शायद ये करना चाहिए था, मुझे ये नहीं करना चाहिए था, and
Hmm.
then I used to put that all down, that these are the mistakes that I did, and if I were to go back in that experience, I would do these things differently. I talked about what questions to ask in the first meeting, how to get your first client, and all of these things that we all face. And I had no idea that people would love it so much.
Okay.
I literally had no idea. I was just writing, and the response that I get was, it just blew my mind. And
Hmm.
so I started doing it on a consistent basis. Yeah, that's how I started
Yeah, it was
Utsav
more like
Kamboj.
of a personal journal, and then which sort of
Yeah,
started growing, and then you
exactly,
started figuring
exactly.
things out on the way, right? From a blog, then I guess to Instagram or
Yeah, yeah.
the other.
Instagram was actually, it's a very funny story. I never wanted to be on Instagram or
Hmm.
YouTube. I thought if I would write blog, people will find it somewhere and that will be fine, because I'm a camera shy person,
Hmm.
which people will not believe
Yeah,
now.
that's surprising for even for me to hear that.
Yeah, so my husband, who was my boyfriend back then, it
Okay.
took him 1 year to convince me to start put myself out there on Instagram and YouTube.
Okay.
In fact, I did an online course on how to talk in front of camera and how to get used to the camera and how to make YouTube videos. If
Hmm.
you'll check out my very early YouTube videos, now the first few, you'll laugh at me. They're that
No, I think
horrible.
everyone can relate to that, I guess.
Yeah. So that's how, after him pushing me a lot, I just converted my personal account into, business account.
Business.
I
Okay.
started putting content out there. I was still starting to understand how the algorithm works,
Hmm.
which is like literally such a pain in our asses for
Yeah.
content creators. And what kind of how do people because like to consume content. Not everybody likes to consume content on blogs. Some like
Yeah.
microblogs,
Yeah.
like Instagram posts. Some like videos, some like audios. So how does this work? So we have still been working on those lines to provide the best fit for our audience in
Hmm.
form of content. But yeah, that's how I started on Instagram and YouTube.
All right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess like Instagram, there's a lot of, maybe you could share some tips for new content creators, because uh, it's not just posting daily. It's more about finding out who's your audience and what kind of content you need to create for them and
uh,
all, right?
the first suggestion would be to be specific. And this sounds really weird to a lot of people, but if you are specific to one niche, it's better for you.
Hmm.
Like I am talking specifically about for people who want to start their own business. That's very specific. People I'm talking to.
Hmm.
I'm not talking to people who want to prepare for gate. I'm not talking to people who are preparing for jobs, for government jobs or something like that. It's very specific. So when I am being specific, it's easier for me to deliver my message to the right people in the right way.
Hmm.
And that's how my content is also very specific to those people. So if I'm talking about all the aspects of, architecture or interior design and everything, then it starts to confuse people. So it's
Hmm.
better to have one niche and create content around that niche. And content never dies. You can always repurpose your content. If you
Mm-hmm.
created something in the form of a blog, you can always create a podcast or a video out of it and repurpose it. Not Don't use it as it is, but maybe shuffle it a little bit, spice it up, and use it in a different way. But that's how content creation really works. And it also depends on if you're comfortable putting yourself out there.
Yeah, yeah. How does
If you
someone like
let's
get comfortable? It's even for me, like I don't want to put myself out there. I'd rather just be behind the screens and just post like maybe carousels
mm,
and all that.
well, it takes a lot of practice, to be very honest, because when I started creating posts for Instagram, that was fine. I just used Canva, I created posts
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and then I created a monthly schedule. I had everything planned in 1 month in advance. This was since 2019. Then when I started on YouTube, it was very difficult for me. I created at least 10 or 12 videos, and after that I became natural with the camera. So
Right.
10 or 12 videos is a bare minimum, right? But I had to push myself for using YouTube and creating content on YouTube because I wanted to do this as a full-time content creator and not as a hobby. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to draw that line. If you want to pursue content creation as a full time, maybe it's not that difficult to get out of your comfort zone. But even if it is,
Right.
so if you are camera friendly, you can definitely go to YouTube. If you can talk, if you're really good at talking, you can go for podcasting, because
Mm-hmm.
podcast, maybe there's one thing that your voice impacts a lot,
Yeah.
right? Just like it's for RJs and everybody. So that is it. And if you don't like to put yourself out there at all, then it's Instagram. And there are a lot of pages on Instagram who don't like to put themselves out there, so they're just putting up posts, and people don't even know who is the person I'm talking to.
Yeah.
So that is the, I would say, that is the negative aspect of not putting yourself out there. If people know who they're talking to, it creates a connection which impacts a lot, which
Mm.
impacts your business a lot. So I would definitely suggest that even if you're not putting yourself out there, at least your bio should talk about who is the person behind this,
Mm.
so that they know, okay, this is a person, and if I am direct sending a direct message to this person, this is replying me, not some random person who is talking to me in a formal way. People
Mm.
love connection, and people connect with humans really easily as compared to companies or other brands.
And what is the idea behind? I mean, it's not an idea. You have your name and you built your profile out of your name, but like, did you really think about it? You just started and just went with the flow, and then now your name is your brand, or was it that you always wanted to plan something out with your name?
No, I didn't want to plan something out with my
Yeah.
name. It was not a plan per se, and I just turned my personal account into my professional account. I did not have everything figured out yet. It was just about progress over perfection. I just wanted to make progress with what I was doing. मैंने सिर्फ अपना account open कर दिया, and people were really engaging with me very well. And the best thing that they said about this is that we are hearing from you.
Mm.
And when I wanted to create an account, Archea's account, I did not, because people were actually liking the part where they could connect with an actual person.
Mm.
So I created a separate account for Archea, and I'm handling two accounts now just for this specific reason, that people love to connect with a human being
Yeah.
more than a company. Yeah. So it was never in my mind, but I'm so happy that I did it, because it has literally changed a lot of things for me. I have to put myself out there a lot. A lot of times I have to be present in front of the platform. But the trust that people have in you, the faith that
Mm.
people have in you, and the kind of interaction that you get with people, that is amazing. Nothing can beat that ever.
You also need a good name, no? Because in my case, I have a really long name. So if I put it, I don't want it to be synonymous for architecture or interior design.
Just put your name. There's nothing wrong with it, with your name, yeah. Come on. I
All
think
right.
that's the last thing that people are going to think about.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, generally, even when I got into like content creation, there wasn't any money coming in, at least for like 2.5 years, unless till I figured out things like create a course and all that. But how
Mhm.
did you start generating revenue out of content creation?
Sponsored posts was my first go. A lot of when I started getting a certain number of followers, people started approaching me to get their projects featured on my page
Mm-hmm.
or their products featured on my page or anything like that. So that is your first go. If people are not approaching you, you can directly shoot emails to product owners, to project owners or anything like that. If you have a YouTube channel, you can offer to interview them on your channel and in
Mm-hmm.
exchange for a certain sum of money, and your audience gives them a good exposure. So that is how it works. That is, in the beginning I got a few people who wanted to get featured on my page, and eventually I started approaching people
Mm-hmm.
that we would do campaigns for you to get your product out there. So it can be anything. It could be an interview on your platform, it could be an Instagram live session, it could be a guest post, it could be anything. That is the simplest way to get to monetize your platform. Simplest way. Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, courses work, but courses, I feel, since I have been in the courses business since it's almost 2 years now, courses have a lot of financial and other logistics to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a very different aspect. Now that I have two different business models with me, I have understood this, that courses is a very long term aspect, and it has
Mm-hmm.
a lot of you know you have to spend a lot of time and money and energy and resources and everything. Comparatively, if you want to monetize your content directly, that is much easier for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also building an audience is super important before you build any sort of
Yeah,
a digital
definitely,
product or something,
definitely,
right?
definitely. Building an audience is important for you. Having a marketing strategy in place is the second important thing for you. Yeah. So
Right,
these are basically interconnected for you. Yeah.
right. Um, have you ever been burnt out by, like posting stuff, like trying to
A
post
lot.
stuff every day, and like how do you like cope with, a lot of work? And because I can definitely relate to where you come from, and there's a lot of work that goes into content creation and just like putting yourself out there. So could you share us some tips on how you like, make it happen?
First of all, my team and I sit together for a meeting, and we are generally doing content 1 month in advance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now it's February, so we already have content for March planned out
Mm-hmm.
and done, right? So what we're going to do now is that we're going to start for April, and what we're going to do is we're going to check out the content that people have loved so far and how we can come up with some similar strategies
Mm-hmm.
around that same kind of content. If people are loving my material posts, obviously we will come up with some new material posts. If people are not loving something, they're hating it, or it is getting the minimum engagement, then we are not going to use that, or perhaps we will introduce something else. So first we come up with strategies that people will like or people would want to know from us, and then we start putting it out in the calendar, because you don't want to overwhelm people. You want to maybe put three serious posts and maybe three engaging posts or something like that, if you want to do it on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to keep it a little casual, you can talk about yourself, you can talk about your own day, just to put those fillers, because it's 6 days, 7 days a week. You don't want to put anything on Sunday, so it's six
Mm-hmm.
days a week, right? If you don't have any content for some day, you can use your own story, your own message to fill that space up, and people actually like to hear from you.
All right. Okay.
People love to hear your struggles. I think it is much important that you put your story out there, even if it is in the form of caption, a small caption, or how your day is going or anything like that. But plan your content in advance, and create all the graphics and captions and everything in advance. Just take care of the hashtags at the सेम टाइम, बट सब कुछ पहले से प्लान करके आई प्रेफर टू शेड्यूल इट इन एडवांस ओनली.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
you have like weeks scheduled and like, you can just chill.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Then I look at other aspects of business, because then suddenly I would be looking at this UK's content, Arkia's content, and the interviews, the live sessions, the online courses we are preparing, the collaborations that are happening. I think I'm just a human being.
Yeah.
I would just blow up, right? So it's important to strategize everything, manage your time, manage your work, manage the people that you have, and work accordingly. It will take at least 3 months to get into that system, but after that, it will be really smooth.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, could you tell us more about, something which you started called Akia, and what is the idea behind this company, and where do you see this company going forward?
Yeah. So Archaea is something I'm really excited to talk about this actually. So the background story is like all of us have been a part of 4 to 5 years of curriculum in college, right?
Mm.
We had a system where which we were supposed to follow no matter how much we hated it, which we all did, right? So we had that system that we could use as a reference. Even if we hated it, there was a reference that we could use. But
Mm.
when we pass out, suddenly there is no system, no framework. We could do anything in the world, but we don't know where to start,
Mm.
right? We don't know if I should just work as an employee, or if I should start on my own, or if I should do masters and then work as an employee, or do masters and then start on my own. And there are so many questions. How do I decide what I'm good at and combine my passion and my profession and make a living out of it so that I can spend the rest of my life doing what I love? And that is what we want to do at the end of the day, right?
Mm.
What it's not just about creating amazing projects, it's about doing what we love, creating an impact through our work, and literally loving our life, loving what we do, so
Mm.
that we have that freedom, that flexibility, not just personally, not just professionally, not just financially, in all cases. That's the background story of it. And what we are trying to do through Archaea is to provide a roadmap for people to reach from phase 0 to phase 10. That's what we are trying to do.
Right.
This is specifically for beginners. By beginners, I mean people who are just stepping into the industry, or who have already stepped into the industry, but they are sort of stumbling upon the whole system.
Mm.
What do I do? Where do I go? There's so much overwhelm in the industry and everything. So the idea is to provide a navigation system, just like we have GPS on Google. So the idea is to provide that GPS in work life, to give them the exact steps that they need to take to reach their end goal. So up till now, we have been doing this through our online courses,
Mm.
but in a week from now, we are going to launch. I'm so excited for this. We're going to launch India's first membership for architects and designers. We've named it Archaea Pro. And this is something that I'm really excited about because I have been working on this since 2018. It's almost 3 years now that
Oh,
I have been
nice.
working on this. So the goal of this membership is again to provide a roadmap. This is where you have to go if you want to achieve this, if you want to have an established firm, create an impact through your work, and have the freedom and flexibility you want. So these are the exact things that you need to do to achieve that. So this is what Archaea Pro that we're going to launch in a week from now is going to do. And I'm really excited for people to sign up and get amazing results from it, because that's what we are trying to achieve at the end of the day, that people get results, their lives get better, and they're not that part of that same rat race anymore that we have
Mm.
all been part of from generations.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds very promising. And could you tell
Maybe.
us more about what exactly is within the membership website, and like what do you
Right.
provide, or how are you going to help students?
Right. So how do I put
I mean,
this?
if it's yeah, you know, I mean, the episode is going to come out after a week. I'm sure you're going to
Yeah, so this is coming after that week. This is
yeah.
launching after that week. So this is very specific for people who want to start their own practice and
Mm.
want to be have an established practice. Right now, we're launching just for people who want to be entrepreneurs in the architecture or interior design niche.
Mm.
And what we are doing for them is we are providing them, when I say roadmap, we're providing them roadmap. We are literally providing them phases. What do you do when you are a beginner?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you are gaining experience? What do you do when you're a freelancer? What do you do when you're starting up? What do you do when you have already have been practicing for 4 or 5 years and then you want to take the leap?
Mm-hmm.
and expand your business, right? You want to take some really good clients, you want to have some really good projects with much better budgets and not do those small cliche work anymore. So this is what we're going to do, and the content is coming from me. The main content is coming from me. We're doing it videos, obviously, because people love videos and audios. So we are, it's coming from me, and I'm talking in detail. I'm talking about every stage. If you're a beginner, let's suppose, what can you do at this stage to achieve your end goal, which is having an established practice, and so on. So this is what I'm doing, and these are the things that we don't talk about. I'm talking about everything: your personal skills, your work skills, your finances, your legalities, investments, everything I'm talking about. So that, because architecture practice, it's, if you're practicing as an architect, you're not, I'm sorry, you're not in just in practice, you are a business owner, and there are a lot of paradigms that you need to look at. There are a lot of logistics involved just to keep that business running. So I'm not just talking about architecture or and interior design. I'm talking about business, sustainable business as a whole in this. So that, and I'm giving them literally each and every step कि ये करना है, इसके बाद ये नहीं करना है और ये करना है. And I have been working on this for 3 years, so I'm like, I'm really excited for this now.
Awesome. So an A to Z for starting up in architecture, you could say.
Exactly, exactly, yeah.
All right, great. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we can discuss this, but you do have your following on Instagram, and you do have,
Hmm.
I mean, you're building a YouTube channel as well. But to get students to the membership is a whole different game, like bringing the viewers, audience. And
Hmm.
so how are you planning to target? I mean, I'm sure there's ads. Maybe you could give our listeners an idea of, how you have a product now and how you're going to bring people to that product.
Well, the product is there because the need is there, first of all. Without need, there's no product. The
Hmm.
need is there. And the simplest way to, pitch your product or your service to anybody is by making them understand that why they need this. And I know they need it because I have been in content creation business since 2017, and I know people are facing the same problems because I face the same problems, and I have literally penned everything down inside of this membership. So I think it's going to be, I'm not going to have any, marketing strategies per se. I'm just going to put myself out in the open, show people what exactly is inside of this membership.
Hmm.
They can actually see before they even make the payment. They can see what's going on. And I have been doing this for all the courses, honestly speaking. So I'm just going to tell everyone that this is what is inside. Have a look, see how it goes for you. And, I'm sure they're going to love it because it is coming from the same place that they are right now.
All
So
right.
I'm sure it's going to help them out. Yeah.
All right. I'm just a little curious to know because even I have like a course and all that, and I have plans, but I'm a little lazy. But which platform are you using to build this membership site off? Because there are a lot of them, right? Like Teachable, News and so maybe,
Searchy. Searchy.
okay, something new.
Yeah.
All right.
It's new, and that platform allows you to search inside of that platform. So if you write a
Uh-huh.
keyword,
Right, right.
you can directly go there and check it out. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
And what are your future plans? I mean, Arkia is coming up. Uh, you will be building it uh, based on what feedback you get, and maybe just keep uh, refining it as well. But
Hmm.
what else can someone look out for? Maybe like a collaboration with architects or something along those lines.
As of now, we haven't decided on collaborations for Archaea. As of now, no, because Archaea's purpose is basically to provide navigation for people who have passed out and give them that system so that they can, the things they're doing the hard way right now, they can do the smart way. So that is what our goal is right now. For the next 5 to 10 years, we are looking at Archaea as a design after school,
Mm-hmm.
where we are, it's not a school per se, but it's an after school where you are literally getting everything that you need to know at the same place, and you are connecting with other people who are in the same community, who are people like you, and expanding on a much faster rate than you are right now.
All right, great.
Yeah,
Um, it sounds like a lot of work, but when do you
it
take a
is.
break off and just unwind and just chill? Because it feels like you have a lot of things going, and I mean, you did talk about burning out, but how do you manage all of this? It's pretty awesome, like if you ask me.
Um, See, for everybody who are facing burnout right now, I would suggest that dedicate 2 days of the week for yourself.
Hmm.
My husband works in a corporate profile, right? So he has Saturday, Sundays off. So I have made the same pattern for myself. I work Monday to Fridays. I don't work on Saturday, Sundays. My team doesn't work on Saturday, Sundays. It's as simple as that. And on those Saturday, Sundays, if I'm saying that I don't work, I don't work, no matter what happens. If somebody is upset, let it be. I'll take care of that later. But I do not attend calls. I do not make any payments. Anything that has to do with my work, it's not there anymore. Other than that, sometimes what I've done is I do give myself 2 days in a week, 100%. Sometimes it's not Saturday, Sunday, sometimes it's work days. It depends on when my body needs me, when my family needs me, and
Hmm.
when I feel that okay, ab mujhse kaam nahi ho raha, chhod do, right? So that me time is very important for you. If you're just doing things, it's not going to work, because there's a difference between being productive and being busy. So you want to be productive, not busy, right?
Yeah.
First, you need to plan. It's better if you have at least 3 month, your upcoming 3 months goal in hand with you, so that you can plan your 3 months accordingly. Other than that, you first dedicate time to yourself. If you're getting up in the morning, don't look at the phone. I never look at the phone for my first 1 hour. I don't look at my phone. I just give that 1 hour to myself. Even if I am just listening to music, I'm binge watching, I'm just walking around or anything like that, I just give that to myself. Then I sit with my to-do list कि आज मुझे क्या-क्या करना है. What are the chores to be done today? And then I pick my phone and see कि अच्छा ये messages आए हुए. Then I start replying to WhatsApp messages, emails, and Instagram DMs and everything. And I, in fact, also have this bad habit of not replying to people on time. I usually
Uh-huh.
reply to emails 2 days later.
Yeah, yeah,
That is also, it's the same reason, because I don't want to push myself so hard because of
yeah,
work, that you have to enjoy your work. You're doing your work because you love it, not because you have to work, right? So you have to create that balance between it. And for that, you have to give priority to your well-being first, and then the work. So if you can spend the first hour of your day every day just for yourself, that would make a lot of difference, and that will cut short on your burnout and your overwhelm a lot.
yeah, absolutely.
This goes for my team as well, because I talk to my team, and sometimes we are like "Ki, we have a meeting and we don't talk about work at all.
Hmm.
We just bitch about things that are happening." So
Hmm.
that also works.
All right.
It's a good idea.
Um, yeah, as in like, of course, all of us have inspirations and we follow a lot of architects. But more than
Hmm.
architects, there's a lot of like really useful content creators who, if you follow, could help you out. And I'm sure like you must have, gone through a lot of YouTube videos and followed a lot of people who's inspired you to come up to where you are. So could you tell us more about, who you followed in this journey and
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. They are in my search bar. One sec. They're in my search bar. The people that I follow on a daily basis. One is Jenna Kutcher.
hmm.
I learned Instagram from her, and she's doing a really great job in personal creating a personal brand on Instagram and putting yourself out there.
Hmm.
So I learned that from her. And I'm following Masoom Minawala, because now I've realized that I have become really fat. So now I'm trying to
Okay.
look at ways to hide those aspects through fashion. And I also follow Amy Porterfield. She is an
Oh yeah.
online marketing educator, and she's really good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I follow these three people a lot. who are outside the architecture and design field.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And also, could you tell us? I mean, my case, I use Notion a lot as a tool to keep track of things and maybe give my I have only two people in my team, so like give them some work and all that. And also, I use
Mhm.
Slack a lot, so Slack helps in like designating work easily. So, could you tell us about what tools you use and how you create your content?
For content creation, we use Canva. For scheduling content, we use Facebook Creator Studio. It's
Okay,
free.
yeah, it's,
And for to keep a check on all the tasks, we use Google Calendar. Honestly, we try to use Asana and Trello. That didn't work for a lot of people. I
hmm,
got really irritated with Asana's constant emails.
okay.
That was really bugging, and Trello didn't work out for a few people in the team, so we didn't do that. Apart from that, we mostly use G Suite for literally everything
Mm-hmm.
that we do. Yeah, managing work and the content calendar, whatever happening, when everything is taken care of these platforms only. We don't use anything specific for this, because something doesn't work out for somebody, then we're like, chore.
Yeah. And actually, G
Yeah,
Suite is it's nothing too complicated. I think and even like regular architects can figure it out. So
yeah.
um, it's just that
It's fairly easy to use.
yeah, hopefully Akia will figure that. I mean, like sort that out for like students and like tell them how to, because in
We
starting
hope
a
so.
firm also, if you give them like a proper framework, right? All they have to do is
Yeah.
just focus more on the design than on the other stuff, right?
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, even if you want to create a ledger, let's say if you want to track your finances, you have QuickBooks, right?
Hmm.
So G Suite is the Google is actually providing you everything for free to, you can manage all your business online with just few simple steps. And that's how I manage all my business online. Everything is online. If my laptop gets stolen away, I don't care. One day, because
Yeah.
everything is literally online and I can just access it anywhere at any time. So yeah, that is it. Other than the platforms that we are subscribed to, this is what we use to manage everything with them inside the team.
Yeah, and also means that you get to work from wherever you like. I mean, you don't have to come to
Exactly.
the same office
Exactly,
and all
and
that.
that is the best part. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the best part. You can work while you're traveling, you can work while you're sick or anything like that. In fact, my entire team is virtual, so
all right,
it's really amazing for us. Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, I guess we had like a solid conversation. I mean, I could keep it going, but tell us more about what are your future plans. I mean, like how related to how you're going to help the architectural fraternity. And I mean, architecture in India is good. It's not bad, but it can be
Hmm.
taken to the next level, right? So, what are
Right,
your
right.
views on how architecture is going to grow in the next few years?
Right.
Architectural education, that is.
So, when I founded Arkia, at that time, webinars was not a common thing,
Hmm.
right? So when at that time, when I was thinking about approaching architects and designers for webinars or online courses, that was like, what
Yeah.
the it was awkward for people. Now it is different. Now, while I am collaborating with different designers, different architects for online courses, for webinars and workshops and master classes, now it is a whole new paradigm, because everybody has, they're okay with sharing their expertise online in the digital
Hmm.
space. So I think if through Arkia, I think we can come a few steps closer to give people that exposure and that knowledge that people used to get before by going here and there. When I started practicing in Karnal, I used to go to Delhi or Chandigarh to attend seminars,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
There are commuting costs, there are, you have to stay somewhere, there are so many costs involved, and you can't do it in every time. But now that everything has become online and through Arkia, I'm really hoping in the next 5 years that we'll be able to reach out each and every person who is in the industry, and perhaps they can gain as much inspiration, as much knowledge, industry knowledge specifically,
Hmm.
and as much exposure as they can to reach their goals faster and in a much better way. Because in the end, if we empower our community through this platform, I'm just talking about our community, if we empower our community, the society is going to start looking at us really differently.
Mm-hmm.
If we as a community empower ourselves, right? And when the society starts looking at architects and interior designers differently, that's when we can change the design paradigm in the country.
Mm-hmm.
That is really important, right? So the exploitation happens because we ourselves as a community are not empowered. That's why
Correct.
clients say कि architects बड़े महंगे होते हैं, interior designers महंगे होते हैं,
Uh,
because they are coming to you with a shopping mindset, right? They don't want to pay that much because they don't
yeah,
know
that's
how
true.
much
Yeah.
effort it takes, and how much that investment is. If they do it wrong, how much is it going to cost us, right? So if we as a community first strengthen those things inside of us, I think then society will start looking at us in a whole different manner. So I think I'm hoping to achieve this through Arkia a few years down the line.
Awesome. Yeah, and I don't think they'll call us architecture also after a few years. Call us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think we had a great session. I mean, a
Yes,
fantastic
awesome.
session. And I personally learned a lot. Like, I mean, I need to become more serious about content creation as well because
No, you just need to plan things out.
yeah,
Everybody just needs to plan things out. That's all. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, so I think
Cool.
we have another, there's something called a quick fire round, which I do on the podcast. So,
Okay, cool.
uh,
Shoot.
yeah, so I'll just like go through the questions again. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I think I've asked few questions also. Um, okay. Yeah, what does a daily routine in your life look like from like, morning till evening? How does it typically look like?
Um, Getting up at 9:30 in the morning, not checking my phone till 11 in the morning, and then having a shower and bathing in the sun for 15 minutes. And then I sit for work after 12, and then I work till 7 in the evening. And after that, I go for a walk or play a game or something like that. We have dinner. Then I sit for 1.5 hour just by myself. And if there's anything that just needs me, I work on that. Then I binge watch till 2 in the morning. Sometimes it's 4 in the
Netflix.
morning. Yeah. And then I sleep.
So what are you watching?
Before I was married, it was a little different. Before, I had to take 2 hour breaks. Every 2 hours I had to take breaks because the girls were constantly seeking my attention, so I had to get up and play around with them and everything. In fact, they have been with me in
What are their
every
names?
life session. Tedu and Rakhi.
Nice.
It was just a birthday one day back. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So that's what I do. Yeah.
All right.
Right now I'm watching that WandaVision.
Okay. All right. I have to check that out, I guess. I haven't watched that.
Yeah, yeah. It's in the first two episodes it's a little boring, but it starts catching up later on.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh, do you have any, I mean, like, do you read any books which could like help our listeners? Maybe some books which you would recommend?
Yeah, haven't read any architectural books. It's been really long, but I've been reading books that are somehow improving my personal skills or skills that
Hmm.
will help in my business. There's one book, The One Thing, and that is talking about managing your time and work effectively. The other book is Taking the Big Leap. Sorry, Big
Hmm.
Leap. It's the book, Big Leap. Third is Rework. That's really good book. Fourth is that I highly recommend Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think
Yeah.
everybody has to read that book. Um, Apart from that, no, I don't remember any other books apart from that. These are my top four recommended books that I think everybody should read. It will help them a lot managing their work, their life, and everything together in one place.
All
Yeah.
right. Uh, are you handling any architectural projects now, considering the
Not
fact?
now. Not now. The last time I handled the project was in January 2020 because my brother is also an architect. So
Hmm.
he does the work. 80% of the work he's handling it. Only 20% that I'm really interested in, I handle that work. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's super difficult to like handle a client and do this on the side.
Yeah.
It's like really
Yes, yes,
difficult.
of course. Yeah, yeah. It's better to do one thing and do it right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Um, yeah. You know, what advice would you give to you like young architects? And I mean, we've had various kinds of advices. It would be interesting to hear your perspective.
Young architects. Okay. Um, don't think less of yourself. Definitely don't think that you're not, there's something wrong with you. The clients are not coming to you because you're not good enough, or the jobs are not coming to you because you're not good enough. There are certain tweaks that you need to make in the way that you're approaching people or approaching offices, and you just need to learn those simple, subtle tweaks, and then things will work out for you. Think outside the box and be a little, try to explore. Don't be inside of that same loop. Try to explore outside of that loop. Try to think of something that would really, really, really make you happy. um, don't settle for less money ever.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short.
Ever.
Yeah,
Don't settle for less money ever. And it's a long way to go. It will never be like, it will be, success will never come to you really easily. You will have to work your ass off. If some one strategy doesn't work, you have to try next strategy. If that doesn't work, you have to try another strategy, and so on and so on. But you have to be consistent with how much effort you're putting into yourself, in your work, in your business, and you will see it will start turning around for you.
all right.
It has turned around for everybody. If you're working that hard, it will turn around for you. Yeah, you just have to work hard and smart both.
Yeah, hard and smart. That's the way
हाँ,
to go.
गधा मजदूरी मत करो, सिर्फ थोड़ा सा एंड्रॉइड फोन का यूज करो. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, actually, I don't know why I mess up, I mean, mix up questions, but who are your favorite architects? I mean, you've like, who's been like your maybe top idols?
Top idols. Okay. Zaha Hadid, obviously. BV Doshi, yes. Frank Gehry. These three people are, I have been reading a lot of their work up till 2019. Yeah, but I have been really, 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 I've always been inspired by their work.
And do you like any contemporary architects? Because you've interviewed a couple of them as well, right? And
I like Muse Lab's work a lot.
mhm.
Sanjay Puri's work a lot. Nishita Kamtar's work. Studio Osmosis. Yeah, I like these people. Yeah.
All right. I wish I could keep you on, but I mean, you'll have to go get back to work as well, and there's a lot of work pending.
Yeah,
So
great.
uh,
Thank you
it
for
was,
having me today.
yeah, definitely a great session, and I look forward to having you more often as well. I mean, it's very valuable for listeners, so it would be great to hear your story
Sure,
and Akia's story as
sure.
well.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Manish.